we're gonna get into these main topics a little bit.
All
right. So I want to get into expectations versus standards.
Expectations versus standards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Right. So we know expectation is a strong belief of something that you believe something will happen in the future.
All right.
And a standard is a commitment to how you want to live your life. And I was telling Wanda that, and then she already knows it, that I think it's dangerous when you treat your personal standards as an expectation for how everyone else should operate.
Yeah.
Then you judge or vilify them when they don't meet your standard the way that you think they should.
Absolutely.
Now, I think, of course, women should have a standard. And it should include no negativity, right? So how do you set that expectation? And so that I came up with that would be through communication. Because if you communicate,
I was just gonna say that's the
if you communicate your expectations, well, if you set expectations and you communicate them, then you can have accountability. You can hold that person accountable.
Absolutely.
For what your expectation is.
Right.
And so I'm sure I know women have expectations in a lot of shit, and I'll start with relationships. I'll start with relationships. I done seen them expect you to do some shit. Like maybe they used to getting flowers on a regular or on a whatever case, doing this, that, and the other, but they don't communicate that to you. Is that the man's fault, or is that her job to teach him? Or, well, I guess it should be her thing to communicate that expectation too.
Absolutely. I think it's unfair to expect someone to know what your expectations are and you haven't expressed them. So
exactly, but hell, women do this shit all the time. Cause I can see them. They can sit there and think that hell he should, on my birthday he should be doing this, that, and the other, or say
on Valentine's Day
he
should be. That's a lot of expectations right there.
Right. So is there any? Is that what is it? What is it, baby? Is there an expectation for Valentine's Day?
I think there is a reasonable amount.
Okay.
Of expectation that should take place, being that you understand what the day means. I should not have to tell you that for Valentine's Day, you should do something a little different for me than you do for me every day. Because based on what the day is,
right,
you should have some expectation of that yourself. Now, do our expectations line up? That's where the communication comes into play. But yes, I do expect that you should know that for Valentine's Day, I would like to have some. Now, the other thing is, like Jasmine, she don't like flowers.
Okay.
She never has.
Right.
I used to buy her flowers when she would dance, and we would give them to them after they would dance. They would stay in her car, dry up, and die. She don't care nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something she's had to communicate to Trey, because that's not how she receives that type of
so
expression.
She don't give a fuck about
She don't care
flowers.
about flowers.
Okay.
Now, she wants something.
Just not flowers.
But don't do flowers.
But
she's got to tell him that.
Okay.
And that's what I was going to say. Now, I know it, like we said, it boils down to communication. We know that.
Right.
And, that's understood. But on the man's side, shit, why is it expected that we just supposed to get something that we've been getting all year? I mean, golly, just because I get some of that good loving in the front room now and not in the bed, that's supposed to be my Valentine's Day.
This boy finna open up a can of worms.
I like candy. Hell, I like
see it
like
coming.
that.
I am of the belief
I like candy and
that-
chocolate and all that good shit.
that-
Jewelry, I love jewelry.
Right. The same old pussy.
Yeah, coochie is not a gift.
Don't
No,
work.
Wait a minute. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
For the audience out there, that
It's not
came
a
from
gift.
a woman. She said coochie is not a gift.
Not a
Coochie,
gift.
and I don't look at it as a gift.
Yeah,
You can
it's
keep
not
that moment.
I mean, especially
Yeah, that's not an even trade.
Exactly. I got to come up with something different or something
Right.
every fucking year. But I got to get the same old goddamn coochie. Whether you done put a different smell on
And
it.
a different package. Put it in a different package.
Right. Cut it a different way.
And I gotta love that.
Right.
Which don't get me wrong now.
Well, but you was gonna
I
get
like
that
jewelry.
anyway.
I like
Right.
jewelry.
Yeah, you was,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
But we know it boils down to communication.
It does. It
Okay.
does.
All
But
right.
so would you tell her that you don't believe coochie is a proper gift? Have you
Today
said
I
that?
would. Today I would.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Hell yeah.
But then
Now,
now
25
that
years ago,
becomes-
I was taking that.
Right.
25 years ago, I was taking
Give me
that.
all the coochie 25 years ago.
Okay.
Fuck your damn
But
coochie.
now,
man.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But you have to express that so that she
Now I got to
knows.
express it. 25 years I got to express. So
Well-
it don't come to you. It's supposed to come to me. I'm supposed to do something different. But it don't come to you that, hell, I need to give him something different from coochie.
Well, the problem is that men make such a big deal of coochie
Mm.
that it's such a big part of how to keep you happy
Right.
that when the opportunity presents itself, what would he like? What does he like?
Yeah.
Well, he likes.
I love it. I love
Right.
it. I love it.
Well, he
I can see
likes
that a
what I
little
got.
bit. She
Right.
made a little point right
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Just a
you know,
little
so
point.
the
Right.
fact that
I love it.
you
Cool.
express so much
but
about
I don't
how
know
much you
who
like
don't like
it,
jewelry.
that's why women tend to believe that giving it to you is a gift.
They tend to believe it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Coochie. Let's stay on that.
I got a question with that. Do you
Okay.
think it's the same vice versa though? Like when guys do that?
Right. You like that ding-a-ling
For a gift?
But
for a gift?
no, it's absolutely not a gift.
There you go.
Absolutely not a gift.
There you
But
go.
women don't make the big hoopla about.
Cause y'all still don't stay hard. So
You know,
y'all
it's
ain't
not.
ready. Y'all not ready. Y'all
Look, whether I got to fold this motherfucker in it or whatever the fuck.
No, sir.
I'm
No,
giving
sir,
you the
that's not
same thing you
acceptable.
giving me.
That's not acceptable.
It's not the same.
No.
Look.
No.
Okay,
If
okay.
it's not workable, it's not acceptable. No, sir. Right.
I
Thank
agree.
you. No, sir. It's not the same thing.
Okay. All right. Well, let's stay on that. Let's stay on that line.
Okay.
But hold on. Go ahead, D. Go
Well,
ahead.
no, go ahead. If you
Because
got
I
a
was
question.
gonna say it make a point. Yeah, y'all can't work with nothing that's not there. But shit, am I supposed to just automatically just assume when I see you walking the door, just bing? What about it? Need to be
No.
some. You know what I'm saying?
Give me about 3 minutes. I need to get you about.
Did y'all hear that, women? That's another point.
Right.
Work that
And
together.
I
Give us
tell
about
you
3
what,
minutes, we get you up.
you can fuck all the lingerie, all that stupid shit. Come put your mouth on me. Suck this ding-a-ling.
Oh my God.
That's what I like.
That's what you like.
That's what I like.
And I think
Suck this ding-a-ling. That's what I
but
like.
that is something you say, so she knows that.
Exactly. It's all part of.
It's part of the communication.
It's part of the
what
we
you
ain't,
like.
and we ain't even got to that yet. But let's
Because
let-
everybody is different, man and women. What
Right.
you know, the woman I was with before, who I'm with now, it's different. You know what I'm saying? I think people get found in that trap too, man. They think that just because whatever, this is both sides to me. You know, just because what you did with this cat don't necessarily, mean that that's gonna turn this next one on.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. That's why, again,
know.
the conversation takes place. But it doesn't take place, especially for women, if we're not comfortable with you.
Well, that leads up to
Yeah.
No. Let me get in,
Go ahead,
bro.
D.
I'm into this shit, man. This where we at. We in the sex shit, far as expectation. Women, I hear a lot of shit about y'all not being satisfied. But my thing is, and fellas, y'all let me know, women have that pussy all day. They know exactly what it takes to make it work. They know exactly what it takes to make it leak. They know exactly
what it take to make it skeet.
right. Why in the fuck would you lay there and not communicate to a man what it takes to make your pussy do what you need it to do? And what you want to wait till I get there and start moving around and goddamn it trying to turn your goddamn nipples like a radio knob and all this old stupid shit to try to figure out what the fuck going on with you and make that pussy. Why wouldn't you communicate and say, hey,
Before you get here.
hey, no, hey, move over here. Slide to this, touch that. lick this, rub that.
I totally agree. I'm gonna tell you why though.
Okay.
Because,
I'm listening.
Again, a woman has to be comfortable with you before she's willing to allow you into that space that makes her feel that way. Because there's a sense of judgment. If I say to you, I want your thumb in my ass, what are you going to say about that to me? And even if you do it then, when we leave each other, what's your take on me? Because there's certain things that you perceive the good girl don't like.
Well, it's taboo.
That's taboo.
But see, now you worried about what I think about you.
Exactly.
But see,
but we are, because I still have to be comfortable enough with you to know that you're not judging me.
Right.
That you don't judge how I need to be done so that I feel good.
Right.
So that all those things happen.
Right.
And if I feel like I can't trust you and I can't express to you how I feel without you judging me later,
okay,
then I'm gonna keep those things to
now,
myself.
But if you want that bowling ball, now I'm gonna have to trust you.
What is a bowling ball?
You said stick a thumb in your head, so if you want that bowling ball, I'm gonna have to trust you that you ain't ate a motherfucking Snickers or any goddamn thing that's gonna leave some residue. Look,
residue.
Don't
brush that off. Okay. What is wrong with you?
Oh,
but that's where the judgment comes in. If you was talking about judgment. But other than that, I'm giving you what you want.
What if she had a Snicker, but that's still what she liked? Now you done judged her.
Now, but look, if I pull out my thumb and there's Snicker on it,
yeah, that's gonna be
gonna cause for some judgment.
Gonna be some judgment.
I'm on judgment.
So this is why women are quiet about certain things that they like, is because men judge us on those
but
things.
Women do too, because now you walking away without you telling me that, hey, move over here, do this, make this, do that. Now I didn't do it, so now you getting up walking away saying that nigga dick is trash.
That's what I was just
that
finna
nigga
say.
Ain't shit.
That's what I was just finna say.
That nigga dick ain't shit.
And it was.
Right.
It was trash.
No.
You know what I'm saying? That is not fair. That is not fair.
You didn't, like you just said, you didn't tell me
now,
what you like.
We do what we know to do. Now that is the thing. The first time you're with someone,
facts,
we do what we know to do.
That's true.
We don't know what it is that it takes to make that person feel good. Mm-hmm. We do what we know. Each person has their own way of doing things. Right. If that doesn't work for you, most people are not going to tell you that until they're comfortable with you.
Well, let me ask you this then. How do you discuss dissatisfactory sex with your partner? I ain't talking about with your little sneaky link. That's what the youngsters call it, your little sneaky link. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about how do you discuss it with, if this the one you really like and you ain't getting it like you want to, do you just, hey man,
but that's
this somebody you love to deep with trash, man. Look here, man, you got to get there right on.
That's what you need to do.
How do you discuss but there's a comfort level with that. If I can talk to you about anything outside the bedroom, right, then I can talk to you about
Wanda,
anything
we know.
related to
now
the
that's to me, it should be. To me, that's one of those things that.
But I have to feel like what we're going to say is not going to cause a fight.
Right.
So when I voice these things to you, is there going to be an argument? Can we discuss things where there's a reasonable conversation being had, or are you offensive and you put your guard up? If you're offensive about taking the trash out, I can't talk to you about the fact that you're not satisfying me. There has to be a level of communication between you and your partner where there's a comfort level where I know when I say something to you, you're not going to jump down my throat. You're going to listen to what I have to say. You're going to respond to me in a positive way so that we can both understand what's going on, and you're going to be honest with me.
For how long does it take? If you're not getting that in a relationship, how long does it take you? Because obviously, if that's not happening, that means that's not the one for you. Vice versa.
To me.
So how long? Right. So how long without putting? I'm not saying 30 days, but how long do a person put up with that? before they
each
realize.
person has to decide that for
themselves.
themselves.
Yeah. But what are you talking about though? Just you not getting the sex that you want or what?
Okay,
What
yeah,
you-
we'll put it like that. If it's a sexual problem and you know you can't discuss that with your mate, but
You got a problem.
but you like others, you got a problem.
You got
But
a
it's
problem.
other things that you like, you know, a good provider, good with the kids, all that. So how long do you put up with that problem, or do you settle?
At this point, at this age, it's a lot different than
Yeah.
it would have
Definitely.
not answered would
Believe
have been
that.
25
Definitely.
years ago.
Definitely.
Right now, I'm not.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not because I don't want that.
Right.
I don't want to be unhappy.
Right.
I don't want a situation where I don't want to come home or I don't want to lay with my husband
Yeah.
or I don't want
I
to
agree.
be engaged with him in any type of conversation because there's always going to be some type of turmoil behind it. I don't want that.
Okay.
So I'm not going to deal with that.
Right.
I'm not going to deal with anybody that brings me that
Right.
because it's not what I want in my life.
got
Have I experienced it? Absolutely.
Right.
I dealt with it.
At this point,
But at this point, no,
Yeah,
sir.
I get
I'm
it.
not.
So
I
how
get it.
will we?
So-
Go ahead, D. I'm sorry.
no, that just brings me into the next subject unless you got something on
I was
the
gonna say
same
one thing.
topic.
So how do we, as older, tell the youngsters how to handle that situation? And do we just say to them, "That's on you," or how do we advise them? How do they go into that? If that same question poses to a 20-year-old, how do we, as the kind of elders,
I don't
tell
think
them?
they give a fuck at 20. I didn't give a damn at 20.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
just
think the
about happening.
mindset's the same. I think
okay.
the mindset
I can
is
go with
so
that.
different that I don't know. We can tell them a lot of things that we've
You right.
experienced.
You
today.
right. They don't
Right.
give a
They
damn.
don't-
And,
You
see,
right.
and we
You
ain't got
right.
to that yet.
Yeah.
And we
You right.
Yeah.
You right.
We ain't
You
got to it yet, but we will.
You right. You right.
But but to my, I'm gonna go to my second topic, man. Emotional intelligence, 'cause, that's gonna be key to maintaining a damn relationship. I see, far as a man. So you asked me, and you didn't ask me, but I'm gonna tell you anyway, motherfucker. What's the definition of emotional intelligence? That's the capacity to be aware of, control, and express one's emotion, and to handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically.
Yes.
That person can handle criticism without denials or excuses.
Right.
They're open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
They got them. They good listeners,
Yes.
and they, and they don't sugarcoat the truth, and they apologize when they're wrong.
Shit, it take time to get to that, man.
Yeah. Once you get grown, once
Right.
you realize you're grown and mature,
You
Right.
should be able to operate within that.
Yeah.
yes,
But emotional intelligence isn't concentrated on.
right.
We're not taught what it means. Most people have no clue what it means to be emotionally intelligent. They have no idea what that is.
Yeah.
So you can see that. I guess that's the thing where if you can see where your partner's upset,
Mm-hmm.
and you can look at it and say, okay, she's upset. Let me listen to her to see what the fuck is going on with her, so that we can get to the truth and the bottom line
Right.
of what's going on. We got a lot of bitch ass niggas out here that's in their feelings and can't communicate well. That's why the relationships don't work, and they would go off and say the woman is crazy, or you know what I'm saying, or whatnot, or then rather than deal with the issues that they got, and that
Right.
they're not emotionally intelligent.
But once again, that's a learned behavior. Like you said, that's a learned thing.
It comes with maturity too, but hey, you going?
But it's needed. You're right.
You goddamn right. It's gonna be needed. Or you'll be a single bitch out here.
Right. Forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to be with nobody I can't talk to. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be with a woman who just agree with everything I say. Now, if we agree, that's cool. But I'm talking to you and ask because I need your opinion. I can do it on my own, but I want to be with somebody who, like I said, who brings something to the table. Like you say, emotionally and shit like that. Don't just, okay.
But we also have to realize that we see things different. Men and women see things from a different perspective.
Exactly.
So as you're listening to me talk, those things that you think aren't important to you,
Right.
or you don't see them as important, for us,
They're
they
very
are.
important.
They're
Yeah.
very important. And acknowledging someone's feelings even though you don't agree with them, it's important to how they see you as a person, because you don't have, listening to me and understanding what I'm saying to you, you don't have to agree with me.
Right.
But you give me the respect to say, I hear you.
And that's what I think called compromise.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying. Your feelings are valid.
Right.
I understand that you feel that way. You have a right to feel that way. This is my take on that.
And now let's compromise
talk
and let's
about
make
it.
this thing work.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you dismiss people and you dismiss what they feel and you dismiss what they're saying to you because you don't relate or you don't get it, then you're setting yourself up for a problem, because that's really all people want, is to be heard. I want you to hear me and feel what I'm saying to you, and then let's work through what the problem.
There you go. Fellas, you hearing it from a woman. You hearing her point of view and what she think. You know what I'm saying? So you won't have no damn excuse to not get it right at on some level. Where we at, Drew?
So, speaking of what you just talked about, I have a question. So, what if there is a guy that is good with expressing his emotional side in a mature way, but the woman isn't able to process it or handle it well? Like, let's say something happens that upsets him and he communicates it, and she just goes, "You talk too much."
Yeah.
What then?
I think you have a mismatch of personalities. I think a lot of times we find ourselves with people we're not supposed to be with. There are other things that draw us to these people. It may be the sex, they may look good, they may, been somebody you've known all this time, but that doesn't make them a match.
Right, because men are visual.
Right.
We come to you because we see something good.
It doesn't make them a good match for you. So we find ourselves in relationships and with people who aren't really our match.
Yeah.
So when we have those types of interactions with those people, it's hard to figure out how to fix it, because it's not meant to be fixed.
It's not meant to be fixed.
That's not your match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And we
know,
waste a lot of time too, especially when we're younger. We waste a lot of time
with people we shouldn't be.
Well, we shouldn't even be with, like you said. And
And as we get older, you hope that you find those standards,
right,
that you set for yourself. And again, this isn't putting them on to other people. This is what I want from me.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it's going to take for me to be happy with my life going forward. I want this.
Okay.
And when you set those standards for yourself, then you know what you're willing to accept and what you're not, and be willing to walk away from what does not serve you well.
But the sex got to be good.
Well, the sex should always.
The sex. Make no mistake, the sex always got to be good.
At this point in my life, I think the sex is a bonus.
It is.
Because I don't,
at this point,
sex is just a bonus because I got to enjoy you.
Right.
As a
outside
person.
of that.
Yes. Because all this shit gonna fade out.
Absolutely.
At some point, your hot flash is gonna be coming overwhelming.
Ooh, they be rough.
And your pussy gonna be dry as a motherfucking devil. I'm gonna see tumbleweed goddamn going across your bed.
Man, stop this.
Her prairie dog.
Or you're gonna have to fold it up to put it in.
I'm gonna have to fold it up to put it in. I'm gonna fold it in your ass. But it's getting in there.
Yeah, jeez.
It's gonna get in there. Fold it.
Yeah, that's nobody's interested.
Well, do what you gotta do. I thought you liked me for me. We was just we was trying to connect on the emotional level.
No, don't be fools.
No, okay, all right. Mr. Stevenson, you got you a good one.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, it's all good. Where we at, Cam? All right. That was a good goddamn conversation,
right? Yeah. That was good talk, man. That was good talk.
I enjoyed this.
See, my mind right now, my mind is going so many places. I know. See, we don't have a lot of time left. That's why we not stuck, y'all. Best believe we got plenty of stuff we want to say, but the clock is not on our side right now. So.
Oh man, I think the clock is gonna be all right.
Clock gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Well,
you pay the cost to be the boss. Everything gonna be.
What's the best relationship advice that you've ever gotten?
Me?
Mm-hmm. From anybody?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Or you go. Has anybody ever given you any relationship advice that you like? Wow. You know what I'm saying?
Shit,
I can go. I answer that first.
Stump me on that one.
I answer that first.
Okay.
When I got married, you know, my grandmama told me, this is with my first wife, we divorced now, but my grandma gave me some great advice. She said, what she told me was, she told both of us, sitting on her porch on Preston Street, she said, look, she said, y'all have to live y'all's life for y'all. She said, y'all starting on this, you know, my daughter was born at the time, so we had a child together. She said, but, you know, y'all have to live y'all life for y'all. Don't worry about what your folks think and her folks think, and they've already lived their life. They've already raised their kids. They've already done this. So y'all need to go into this and live y'all life and raise y'all family y'all's way for y'all. Not saying don't not listen to anything anybody says, but make your own decisions. Do that. And I just thought that was great because I feel like a lot of times, you know, we try to raise up and like mama and them, do whatever mama said, you know what I'm saying, and we get caught up in that. So
see, my mama was single, you know what I'm saying, and she stayed single, and I think I know why. You know what I'm saying? Hell, she wouldn't shut the fuck up sometimes, but you know, but mama, you better not say it. You know what I'm saying? But I understand why my mother was. And it worked for her. You know what I'm talking about? But y'all came up in 2-parent households, so I'm pretty sure it was different on y'all end. Even.
But that was just good advice my grandma gave to me, so I just wanted to have anybody ever give you some good relationship advice.
Oh, nothing other than
or have you given
simple shit like don't sweat the small stuff.
And it's all small stuff.
Yeah, because normally we end up arguing about something stupid or I don't mean a hill of beans, no damn.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times though, we're not really arguing about what you think you're arguing about. And so that's the communication side of it too, and me feeling comfortable enough in the relationship to be able to express how I'm feeling, because I'm really probably not mad at you that you left the microwave door open when you got your food out.
Right.
I'm probably mad about something else.
Okay.
But that's the catalyst that I'm going to use to fuss at you.
Right.
Because I didn't feel comfortable enough fussing at you about what I was really upset about. So now it's festering and it blows up when you're talking about those small things you're arguing about. Sometimes you have to dig a little deeper, because rarely are you arguing about what you think you're arguing about.
Right. And
especially from a woman's perspective. Y'all think it's pretty black and white. For us, we've probably got something else that we haven't expressed to you.
And that would lead us to our third topic, which is communication. Yeah. For some reason, we can't seem to get that right. It's very frustrating to tell a woman what you mean, what you're trying to say, or not what you're trying to say, because men usually pretty straightforward.
Right.
And we say it to you, and you hear something totally different than what we said.
You know, we do, and that's where I try to repeat back what was said to me. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times, if you repeat what the person said to you, they'll be able to correct you and tell you that that's not what they meant at all, or you didn't get that at all. Exactly. That's not what I said at all. So a lot of times we're hearing, because we're accepting it through our filter. So how you gave it to me may not be how I receive it. So if I repeat it back to you, this is what I heard you say. A lot of times you'll be able to squash a lot of the, no, that's not what I meant at all.
Yeah.
So start practicing that maybe.
Yeah.
Feedback.
Good talk. Good talk.
Good. Double standards. I heard men can dish it, but they can't take it. That's a double standard.
It's facts.
I think that goes both ways.
Yeah. Well, I heard also, I don't like the fact that women can goddamn write a motherfucking bitch off for liking a nigga that they used to like in the 6th grade.
Yeah, that's silly.
I think that's the dumbest fucking shit up.
Absolutely silly.
So,
yes, I totally agree.
So we gonna, man.
Y'all gonna have to have me back.
Right, well, man, but hell, we're gonna come right back. We're gonna come right back. Because I got a few more things I got to get off my motherfucking chest. And ain't no telling when I'm gonna get you again.
Well, you know.
Cause I know
life has slowed down some. Now.
But I know you're busy and you got shit going. So
yeah,
we're gonna get this shit together.
All
right, we'll be back.
All right. Hey, what's up, world? This your boy Lil Walt. Man, thank y'all for watching Left Handed Conversations. Man, we appreciate the support. You know, and if you like what we're giving to you, man, hit that subscribe. Man, please leave your comments and all that good stuff. And man, if you like what you see and what you hear, please hit that button. And man, we're gonna give you everything, and then we're gonna keep them coming, man. So we appreciate that. Left Hand Conversations, Lil Wall, man, we here, baby. Peace.